article in today's Business Day saying Nigeria has broken a 12-year tomato scarcity jinx that has led to a spike in prices on almost a yearly basis for more than a decade. So it looks like 2025 was the first year we escaped that price shock. Their data saying a basket of tomatoes started at about 35,000 to begin 2025, ending about 43, so a 22% jump. But less than the more than 100% price spike that they said they've seen that has been the case over the past few years. And they're attributing that to a collaborative effort between public and private sector. And I think one of the players in that sector is Mayowa Ekundayo, CEO of Postage Solutions, saying that the yearly price spike was seen as an investment opportunity. And in 2025, lots of people who wanted to cash in basically jumped in to invest, and that kind of helped to moderate prices. He also pointed to the southwestern region of the country, which usually depends heavily on the north for its tomato supplies, growing more of its fresh vegetables through a collaborative effort. And he mentioned a couple players in that sector. We did have a conversation on food and insecurity in Nigeria, and tomatoes actually came up during our conversation with Cardinal Stone. Here's an excerpt there.
I think that if you look at it from tackling the insecurity perspective and the overall benefit, it outweighs the costs on the state government. So we think, state policing coming to ease insecurity will be good to, bring about improved availability. Then from the affordability perspective, inflation is already moderating. Food prices are moderating. If you go to the market a year and a half ago, a big basket of tomatoes was selling for over 120 to 130,000 naira. At the moment, people are buying it for around 60, and that's because it's festive period. After festive period, maybe you'll be getting it lower than that. So we think that this easing prices of food will be very good in reducing this number, maybe below 25 this year, and over time we'll see it decrease materially.
Now, of course, that takes us into inflation. We're expecting U.S. inflation later today, but that's not the topic now. Nigeria's inflation for December is what we're expecting on Thursday. You can see the trajectory of prices for headline and food decelerating. The NBS, which has had an engagement with the NESG, the Nigeria's Economic Summit Group, and also with the media, saying there could be an artificial spike in December due to base effects following the rebasing. So they're putting that word out there now, and they're saying that needs to, of course, be smoothed out to follow the trend of decelerating prices. So let's have this conversation, starting with tomatoes and also with inflation, with our Rise business analyst, Chika Mbonu. Chika, it's good to see you. Guys, we've already been on the show this year. Yes. Welcome. Have a seat, sir. You're welcome. So I guess starting with the tomato side of things, what's your thoughts on where prices are?
Tomato. Why tomato? Tomato is like very ubiquitous in the Nigerian staple, the Nigerian kitchens.
Yeah.
Starting from our popular jollof rice.
Oh yes.
Jollof rice.
Number one in the world.
Indeed, what gives the jollof rice is decent color happens to be tomatoes. And you will tie into the story, Rotus. You will find that when those years when we had the scarcity, people simulated tomatoes in various ways in the jollof rice by using things like carrots, to substitute to create that jollof rice color in that. And so whatever Nigerians eat, whether it's cakes or jollof rice or stew, tomatoes happens to be in them. Yeah. So that's why tomatoes happen, is a major story. I heard you talk about what could have led to this,
yes, and
then talk about the collaborative effort. That's one of them. But one major issue, Rotus, is what I call the post-harvest losses.
Yeah.
A lot of reports that you see out there will tell you that about 45% of the losses of the harvest at the farm gates don't reach the market.
Yeah.
They get lost because of the issues of preservation, lack of storage, issue of transportation, and by the time they get there. Indeed, in a lot of in those Senate times when we used to do a lot of road travels, if you travel through the states in the north, whether it's Benue to Plateau State or Zamfara to Kaduna and all those places, you will see during the harvest seasons, whether it's mango or tomatoes, so many of them, they're all there. But how do you move them to the market?
Right.
And nobody moves them and they get lost. So supply has been good, really.
Yeah.
But the issue has always been post-harvest losses. And that's a major issue. Remember, we'll talk about it in this place and said that the price of every commodity is determined by the demand and supply.
Yeah.
Once you have the quantum supply in place, it tends to moderate the price. And then, as one of the analysts has said, the scarcity that normally happens, I think it was between April and May, June, July period. A lot of people saw that as an investment opportunity and then diversified their holdings into producing tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then the tomato belt ceased now to only not to be in the north. A lot of people in the south, especially in the southwest area, took up positions and then grew tomatoes, and then and that helped to put a lot more into the market. And remember again, one of the major issues has been security.
Yeah. And
so the security affects the movement of the products from the north to the south. And so where you had diversified farm places, especially in the southern area where you have lesser security challenges, it reaches the market because a lot of the market is down here in the south. So we're hoping that the collaborative efforts continue between the government sector and the private sector. We're hoping that the value chain continues, the products move more from the farm gates and to the markets with more preservation, with more storage places, and so that the post-harvest losses are reduced. The prices will need to moderate, and so that we can celebrate again this in 2026.
Fantastic. Now, tomatoes, of course, part of food. Food is part of the, CPI baskets. So, what do you make of this? The NBS coming out to say, listen, there could be, an artificial spike in the inflation index, and so that needs, of course, to be adjusted because of base effects. What did you make of that? This topic,
this story, or this issue that is on the table now, that NBS is trying to moderate, speaks largely, or again, more to the issue of mathematics. The inflation figures and the reality in the marketplace. So it's very, very interesting because now, all the while when people have been saying, inflation, by the way, a lot of our viewers may not realize that the inflation figures coming down does not mean that prices will come down. It just means that the rate of increase of prices is slower.
Slower, exactly.
Because a lot of people ask me the question in the motor parks, in the airports, everywhere, that people why the price is not coming down? Why the price is not coming down? The same inflation is coming down. So I said, it's not really that the prices are coming down. The issue is that when inflation moves from about 15 or 20% to 15, it actually means that the rate of increase now is moderated. Now, see, the base year, I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't sound very theoretical for a lot of our viewers. For inflation in Nigeria had been 2009.
Right.
And at that time, usually most other economies change the base year every 5 years.
That's right.
Nigeria hadn't changed that up to 2004. Now if you look at the lifestyle, the basket of consumption for Nigerians in 2009 compared to 2004, you find a lot of things had changed. And so we're using the wrong basis in 2009 to compare the lifestyle in 2024. And that was why the base year was changed to 2024.
Right.
Now, it happens again that the first year after 2024. So if 2024 was 100, which is like the base year, now 2025 happens in the first year after 2024.
That's right.
And if you do the mathematics of inflation, the figures will be way out. And that is what what's the name? NBS is trying to speak about that.
Yeah.
Before we release these figures, they have not released it yet.
Yes, they are just telling everybody.
Before we release these figures, so we know. Because remember, the political side have been celebrating the moderation of inflation.
Right.
And as one of their
signature achievements. Yes.
And so, if that figure comes out and, it shoots up again,
right,
it may send the wrong signal.
Yeah.
So let us put it out there before it happens that the increase, the spike, is not because of prices have suddenly increased overnight,
right,
but due to the issue of the base year, and the mathematics involved in the calculation, which is what's happened.
Yeah.
Now, that's very important that you put it out there, first of all, before it happens.
Yeah.
Because if it goes out there, and the Nigerian journalists, as we always do,
yes,
say, Nigerian inflation moves to this stage. Anything, so the naysayers will just speak on it again and say, oh, we thought that the inflation, or they say, was moderating.
Right.
And that. So the mathematics is what is the issue. Let's help NBS here now, because I can see them sweating, and that's the issue, that the prices didn't spike overnight, really.
Right.
But again, what we're still saying is that there's always the gap between inflation. If you're celebrating the figures coming down, we need to make sure that our families, when we go to the markets to buy things,
can see it.
Can reflect in that.
Yeah.
That's basically the summary of this.
Fantastic stuff. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu taking us through the tomato movements in price, and of course the upcoming inflation we're going to get on Thursday from the NBS. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.